Diane in Denmark here, rah, rah, rah. And today we are talking about the all-important evening routine. Now, I've had a couple of difficult days here, but my routines, they help me to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving forward. And it's been a while since I've done an evening routine video, so I thought, let's have a little refresher on that. So today I'm going to be walking you through my evening routine. I'm also going to be answering your questions about evening routines because I asked on my Facebook page and on Instagram and on my YouTube community tab, I asked if you had any questions, so I'll be answering those for you. And finally, I will be giving you 4 practical things that you can do today so we can set you up with a really good evening routine and that you're actually going to follow through on. So anyway, let's get right into it. I'll show you my evening routine, and most of my routines are completely automatic now. They're so ingrained in me, but I do keep them in my control journal. Mine is called Hygge Home, and for times when I'm really in deep sorrow or stressed or there's a lot going on, it's really nice to be able to refer to a list. And I've got my lists in there, and here's the one with my evening routine. My evening routine, that actually starts with prepping dinner in the evening, when I'm starting to cook dinner. And as many of you know, I wash up as I go along. So before I start prepping dinner, I wash my hands. I've got soapy water in the sink, and as I cook, I clean up as I go. I do a pupa, pick up and put away anything that I'm using, any spices that I use, flour or things from the fridge. I use them and I put them away so that when we sit down to dinner, and in the summer usually we're sitting outside on the deck, or we could be sitting in here at the kitchen table. When we sit down to dinner, there's maybe 1 or 2 pots and pans left. And when we're finished dinner, everybody helps to tidy up. We put our things in the dishwasher, we wash up any pots and pans, put things back in the fridge. And the leftovers from dinner, often I will pack that up right there and then for my packed lunch for the next day. Even if I'm working at home, because I coach from home, I will often pack it up and then it's just ready for me to grab the next day. And I will wipe down the counters here, I'll wipe down the table, the top of the stove. One of the major things for me is having coffee set up for the next day. So I'll always get the coffee ready, and that's on a timer so it's ready when we come down in the morning. Oh, that's the most fantastic part of my evening routine. I'll also check my calendar, check my diary, see what's coming up for tomorrow. Am I going to the dentist? Have I got client meetings? Do I need my swimming bag ready? And I'll get those ready to go. Maybe you need car keys, maybe you need to get your baby's changing bag ready. And then of course the classic Flylady thing, I will dry out the sink when I'm finished. And I'll use one of the towels that I have here. I have the dish towel, that's the cotton one, that's the one that I use for drying glasses or drying pots and pans. The terry towel is ones that I use for hands. And I'll use one of those just to wipe out the sink, and then the towels go in the wash. And then I take a fresh hand towel and a fresh tea towel from the drawer here in the kitchen. And my outfit for tomorrow, I set that up as well. Usually I do that when I'm putting away the day's laundry, but if I haven't done it, then I will do it as part of my evening routine. And my outfit is hanging up on the back of the bedroom door, so I'm all ready to go as soon as my feet hit the ground in the morning. And bedtime for me is usually Sunday through Thursday. I'm normally heading to bed about 10:30. And before we leave the living room, because hubby and I, we sit and we have a cup of tea, watch the telly or read our books. We check to see, is there anything that needs pooped, pick up, put away. Just 5 minutes. And then after that, it's head on the pillow and sweet dreams. And somebody asked, what's the goal of an evening routine? And I know many of you who have commented yesterday about the routines, you told me why you were doing them. It takes out the guesswork. I don't need to be, when my mind is crowded with things, I don't need to think of what needs done. I've got the list and that will just carry me through. I'm getting myself set up for the next day. especially if you are despondent, if you are stressed. It really gives us focus. Also, perhaps you have changed circumstances, recently retired, maybe you're doing renovations in your house, maybe you have just given birth to a little baby, and our points of reference have gone, and it's really useful for us to have these points of reference to keep us moving forward with the day. And especially if you are a mum, you'll probably know those really stressful mornings where everybody's kind of screaming at each other and where's this and where's that. It takes away all that stress. Get your kids on board with evening routines as well, so that they know where their sports bags are, they know where their shoes are in the morning, they know what's expected of them. I just sleep better, even postmenopausal, I sleep better knowing that I've set myself up for a good day tomorrow. And I always like to think of doing my routines. I think of them as in a positive light. Why do I want to do my routine? Because I know it makes life easier for me. It's like tying up my day with a big bow. The bookends of the day, tying my day up with a big bow, and I'm done. If the worst should happen, if you sleep through the alarm, or if suddenly there's an emergency during the night or in the morning, been there, done that, you have your stuff ready to go. Honestly, I can tell you, the time that you don't do your evening routine and you're not set up for it, you can bet your bippy that something is going to happen the next day. A few of the questions that came in: the tea towels, when do they get washed? If you want to know more about my laundry, I've got a whole playlist. I have a hot wash, which is any towels, tea towels, hand towels, bath towels, bedding, that goes in a hot wash. I've got our usual clothing where I will do all the darks together on a cool wash and all the lights together on a cool wash. A few questions from families with teenagers who are doing sports activities where the family is not eating at the same time. That question is kind of coming back to menu planning. When my kids were still living here in the house and where we're all on different timetables, days like those, we kept the menu really, really simple. Soup and a sandwich, or something that the family can assemble themselves. Also, the family know that they are required, it's their responsibility, if they start cooking, that they clear it up and put it away. That's something that we instilled in our kids from an early age. You need to be consistent with them in reminding them of that. There's no need to shout at them, but just remind them that they have to, if they start cooking here, if they eat something, that they take their plate, cup, whatever it is, and it's either washed up and put away or it goes in the dishwasher. So there's a lot of questions about spouses maybe coming along later and leaving things lying. And one of the fun things that came up in the Flylady groups many years ago when this question came up was actually to write it on a piece of paper, say, a note saying, please keep this area clear, or, please put your stuff in the dishwasher, and actually leave it beside, on the counter or in the sink. That really works well. Lady saying she can't do all of her morning routine in the morning because she has to go to work. We need to be really careful about looking at what you see on the Flylady routines as morning or evening, especially if you are working outside of the house, you are homeschooling. Don't worry too much about it being an evening routine or a morning routine. You just need to get your daily things done. So don't worry too much about what is in the classic Flylady morning routine. That will depend on what time you're leaving to go out the house in the morning, when you're coming home, how many people are in your household, who's helping with things, who's using the bathrooms, are the kids, are they doing a swish and swipe in their bathrooms? So don't worry too much about the terminology of it. And another question about how do you know what to put into your routines? Well, what I would suggest is that you start with the basic ones that you see, the good morning routine, the good evening routine. Don't worry too much about getting the perfect routine right here and now. After a few days, you're going to get a real feel for what is it that keeps the house running. For me, it's having coffee ready when I come down in the morning, making sure that I'm doing a load of laundry from start to finish every day, having my outfit ready to go for the next morning. Maybe you need to make sure that the baby's equipment is set up and ready to go for during the night. If exercise is essential for you, making sure that your yoga bag is ready and set up for your seniors group tomorrow morning. What is it that helps you and it takes away the daily stress? Because at the end of the day, that's why we're doing these routines, to take away the stress. If you think about it, all these things that we're doing, these routines, all we're doing is changing the timing of it. We're doing it in advance and not waiting until it absolutely needs to be done or until it's too late. And that's where the stress comes in. Now, some practical ideas of what you can do right here, right now to get you set off in your merry way with a good routine. First of all, write down, right this minute, find a piece of paper, a pen, write down one sentence of why you want to have a routine. Because you want to feel more organized, because you don't want to be shouting in the morning, because you want to really enjoy your evening knowing that things are taken care of, that you're going to have more room in your head to think. So you've written down why you want to do these routines. Very good reminder, anytime that you're thinking, oh, I don't want to do it, you look back at that. Number two, I want you to write down what time you want to start your evening routine and what time you reasonably expect the routine to be finished. And from there, I would actually put reminders on your telephone, and if possible, add it onto something that you are already doing, because it always makes it easier if we hear the news at 6 o'clock on the radio or on the television. Boom, that's your reminder. Oh, I need to be starting dinner prep now. Perhaps your favorite show comes on the television. Oh, I need to finish folding the laundry. Put an alarm on your telephone that says it's time to head to bed. And then three, we need some motivation to actually move us forward with these routines. And I've got lots of ideas about how to add hygge, coziness to your routines. I'll put the playlist up there. If you like to get things done, maybe you like to have a list that you can check off. Remember, it doesn't need to be in the exact order, just get them all checked off. Set a timer. Get the kids helping, listen to 3 or 4 songs on the radio. I'm wearing my cordless headphones and I'll be listening to a podcast. I can phone my mum in Edinburgh and let her chat. At the start of my routine, I light a candle, and when the routine is done, I blow out the candle. I also pick a little flower from the garden. If you love to watch YouTube, instead of sitting watching YouTube, use the YouTube video as you go through your routines. I've heard from many of you that you take me around the house with you. That often makes it easier for us because then we're getting that immediate gratification, and it really encourages us the next day to look forward to doing our routine because, oh, we're going to listen to some good music or we're going to watch a video. And number 4, I want you to write down on that piece of paper where you wrote down why you were doing your routines. I want you to write down how it feels, how you feel when you're finished. Because often at the beginning it's like, oh, I don't want to do my routines. And I've told you before, you don't have to want to do your routines, you just have to do them. Whenever we don't want to go out for a run or we don't want to go into the cold sea, if you're a winter bather, you never regret it once you've done it. Coaching clients that have, they see a real difference when they write down at the end of their routine, when they've completed their routine, how they felt. I feel tired, but I feel tired in a good way knowing that I'm set up for tomorrow. A sense of euphoria, of wow, it only took me, it took me 10 minutes and I thought it was going to take the whole evening. So try writing it down every day. How do you feel inside once you've completed your routine? So I hope that gave you some ideas of how you can implement a good evening routine right here, right now, today. I've got lots of ideas on my Flylady refresher course. I also do private coaching if you're needing something that's really tailor-made to you. And I will be offering group sessions from September. And if I can just leave you with one thing is to KISS, keep it simple, sweetie. Don't go down that rabbit hole of wanting to have the perfect routine or having 3,000 things on your list. Just go for 3 things in the morning, 3 things in the evening, and say to yourself, this is how my morning routine looks now, this is how my evening routine looks now, and it doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be done. Let me know if you have any other questions about routines. And all I've got left to say is live long and prosper. May the Danish Hygge be with you. And I'll see you very soon with a rap, rap, rap. Okay, bye for now.